viewers, welcome to our YouTube channel. So today what am I going to teach? Now I am going to teach about 4th class unit 1. 4th class unit 1. So what am I teaching? That is about plants, about plant life. So by looking my screen now, I'll read the textbook. So what is plant life? What are the habits and adaptations of the plant, and where it grows, in what places, what sort of plants grows. So what about aquatic plants, how they float, underwater plants. So I'm going to teach all this now. So just let us go into the lesson now. So if you look around, you will notice many living and non-living things. Yes, if we look around, we look living things and non-living things, right? Living things have a life in them. Okay, living things have a life in them and have some features which non-living things do not have. So non-living, they have some features. The living things have a features, else the non-living things don't have. Okay, living things move, isn't it? Living things move and they grow, they feel, they breathe, reproduce and need air, water and food to remain alive. We are all human beings, we are alive, right? We move here and there, we are the living things, we all know that. So we need air, water and food to remain alive. But non-living things do not have all these features. Okay, non-living things do not have these features. Example, if you look chair, does it move by itself? No. Does it feel if you do any harm to the chair, does it feel any harm or it has any feelings? No. If somebody beats you, you feel harm, you feel pain, right? So living things feel, breathe, they reproduce, okay, and they move, they grow, right? Living things does all this, but non-living things do not have any of these features. Okay, so things which is in yellow color, read carefully. Living things are of two types. Okay children, living things are of two types, that is plants and animals. Okay, plants and animals, they depend on each other for their survival, isn't it children? We depend upon leaves, right? We also eat leafy vegetables. The animals also depend upon the leafy vegetables. Okay, so they each other want their help, isn't it children? Plants and animals depend upon each other to survival in the sense to live. Okay, to live on the earth, to be alive. Okay children, now let us see. Plants give food, air and shelter to animals, isn't it children? The big trees, they give shadow, right? It is a shelter for dogs, cats and some cows also live there, right? So plants gives food also to us, it also gives air. Big plants give us air, isn't it? Trees gives us air, right? We get oxygen from the plants, isn't it children? So plants gives food, air and shelter to animals, and animals on the other hand give carbon dioxide and manure to the plants. See children, likewise plants also helps animals and animals or human beings also helps plants. Example, see children, animals on other hand, what they are doing, they are giving carbon dioxide to the plants to grow. Like plants gives oxygen to us, what we are giving to it, in return we are giving carbon dioxide. And manure is nothing but what children? It's wastage, like excreting, like the wastage whatever we have inside we go, right? So those wastage is turned into the manure to the plants. Now see, plants, habitats and adaptations. Plants live in a different surroundings. They have to adjust according to the condition of the environment. This process of adjustment is called adaptation. Okay, the plants live in different surroundings. They have to adjust according to the condition, right? We have a different kind of plants. We have many plants and they adapt to their condition to live. Some plants they grow in water. Some plants they grow on land without water. Likewise to the environment they get adapted and they grow. Okay children, so let us see, when plants fail to adapt according to the surroundings, they either die or do not grow well, isn't it children? If you take a water plant or a money plant or a rose plant, if a money plant is grown on the land, if you don't give a sufficient water, it will adapt itself. If not, if the land is not moisture, the money plant will die. Likewise, if you make rose plant in the water, if you just make it in the water, what happens in the glass of water? It will not grow because it can't adapt it. Likewise, if they don't adapt the environment, they might die or they might not grow well. Okay children, the plants can be classified according to their surroundings again. So plants also again classified into two. Okay, that is terrestrial plants and aquatic plants. What are terrestrial plants? The plants which grow on land are called terrestrial plants. There are different types of terrestrial plants which grow in a different places. Okay children, we have a different kind of terrestrial, the plants which are grown on the land are called, okay, and we have different kinds again in this, like plants of hilly areas. You know, look at this hilly areas. In the hilly areas like Ooty, Shimla, Kashmir, these are the places. Okay, Ooty is a place, Shimla is a place, Kashmir is a place, right children? These trees are tall and straight. Okay, in these areas the plants are tall, very tall and straight. They have needle shaped leaves. What shape of leaves they have? They have a needle shaped leaves. Instead of flowers, they bear cones, pine fir, cradle, spurs, etc. Or common examples, pine trees have leaves without the ear. They are also called evergreen trees. So cedar, spruce and pine bear cones, all the instead of flowers they give these. Okay, will also show you likewise here the pine how it is a different, right? So the plants of hilly areas have these. Okay, they will be like that. And let us see now the plants of plains. In the plain areas, how the plants will be. In the plains, trees like mango, peepal, banyan, plash, sesame, bubble, neem, sal, etc. are grown in the plain areas. Okay, they have a lot of branches and leaves. So these plants have a lot of branches and leaves. These can bear the heat in summer. But they shade their leaves in winter to protect themselves against the cold. So these two trees, these kind of trees like mango, peepal and banyan trees, they grow in summer, but in winter they, to protect themselves from the cold, they shade the leaves. This is about the in the plain areas how the plants grow. And plants grow in hot and damp places. Coconut and teak trees like hot and wet places. Coconut and teak trees like hot and wet places. Rubber, sugarcane, pepper, rice, cotton or other plants that grow in such places. They have lots of leaves but do not shade them. Okay, These plants have lot of leaves, but they do not shade because they already like to grow in hot and wet plant places. Okay, and desert plants. Cactus and prickly pear do not have leaves. These two, cactus and prickly pear, doesn't have any leaves, but they are reduced into spines. They are reduced into the spines. The thick fleshy stem prepares food and stores water in it. These two plants stores water in it and they prepare their food by themselves. Plants growing in marshy area. So marshy area, the trees that grow in a wet clayey soil are called mangrove trees. Okay, peepla tree. So these are like their roots do not get air in the water large soil. So the roots grow above the ground. So these roots will be growing above the soil, above the land. Okay, they will not be inside the soil. And clayey, the wetty clay soil, very wetty clay soil. This is all about the plants. And now let's listen to the aquatic plants. Let us go to aquatic plants. So terrestrial plants we have already learned. Now let us go into aquatic. Aquatic in the sense water. Okay, plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. So there are three kinds of aquatic plants. We have three kinds here. Floating plants. So what are the floating plants? We will be seeing them, right? Most of us, our ponds fill this actually. Pistil, duckweeds, water, hyacinth plants are light with spongy or swollen parts. They float freely on the surface of. Okay, so these plants, duckweed and water hyacinth, will grow above the water. Fixed plants, we also see them in the villages. What are these? Water lily and the lotus plants have roots fixed to the bottom of the pond. So we see them in the small ponds in the villages, right? They have a long, shallow stem and broad, waxy coated leaves. These leaves float on the surface of the water. The upper surface of the leaves bears stomata for exchange of gases. So we see its leaves, right? What happens on the leaves? We have spores, which prepares food by exchanging the gases. Okay, and what are underground plants? Underwater plants. Underwater plants are like plants like hydrilla, velicinillae, have small ribbon-like leaves with no stomata, but they breathe through the body surface. Roots are fixed to the bottom of the pond. Okay, these are underwater plants. I'll also share pictures in our WhatsApp groups so that you'll get better knowledge about this. Children, don't worry that you are not able to see proper pictures about this, but I'll share you definitely in our WhatsApp groups. In aquarium, underwater plants are kept for the exchange of gases between aquatic plants and animals. So in aquarium also we see plants kept because to get the exchange of gases, we keep the plants for the animals. Some unusual plants. Chlorophyll is a substance which makes the plants green. Okay, chlorophyll is a substance which makes the plants green. That is a substance, the reason that the green leaves are in green color. Some non-green plants like moldy and mushroom do not have chlorophyll at all, and few are not having also. Okay, they cannot make their own food. So they cannot make their own food. They get their food from dead and decayed plants and animals. So the greeny leaf, if the plant is having greeny leaf, then it's preparing its own food. When the plants are not having chlorophyll, then they are not making their food by themselves, but rather they are getting food from the dead and decayed plants and animals. So some plants like cotton have chlorophyll but not green, because they have a red substance which hides the green color of chlorophyll. So Proton is a plant which is having chlorophyll in its, but it is not in green color, it is in a red color. It hides, the green color is hiding and showing its red color, so the leaves appear dark red. So some of us see some of these plants we have seen, right? I will also share these pictures in the WhatsApp groups. Do animals eat plants? Do plants eat animals? What is the question? Do animals eat plants? Yes, they eat. Do plants eat animals? Yes, even plants, some of plants eats animals. Okay. So these are some plants which trap and eat insects. I'll also share these pictures, children. Some plants we have which trap the insects and they swallow it. They are called insectivorous plants. Such plants are called insectivorous plants. Venus flytrap and pitcher plant are common examples. Are the common examples. In these plants, the leaves have two halves. When an insect sits inside the half, they get closed and insect is trapped. Okay, you can see the picture here, children. I'll also share in the WhatsApp groups. It will be opened like this. When the insect comes and sit in this position, it will close and it will trap the insect. So energy flow in living beings. Energy flow in living beings. Animals and plants depend on each other for survival. As we already spoken, that each animal or each plant are dependent on each other to live. Plants give animals food and oxygen. In return, animals breathe out carbon dioxide, which is used to plants to prepare food. Right, children? Plants give oxygen to us. In return, we are giving carbon dioxide to it. Okay, in which used to plants to prepare the food. This is how plants and animals dependent on and live each other and maintain balance in nature. So likewise, we are maintaining balance. Like we give carbon dioxide, they give oxygen to us. So please, children, don't forget, this is very interesting topic about the plants. I would like all our children, like, please, on your birthdays or your mama's birthdays, dad birthday, or anything, any function or anything which is, please adopt a tree, or please try to, we have to think about our future. We have to think of our future, like what would be like this. We are getting lots of problem in the air, right? We should not get this. So we have to plant a plant. We have to plan to planting the plants. Okay, try to plant a plant on your birthdays or on your mama's birthday, so that makes very good relation between the plant and us. It gives us oxygen and we are giving carbon dioxide in return. It's a good friend for us, right, children? I hope you will definitely do this. Thank you so much.